Okay, so you're here with us on the deep dive because let's face it, you're the kind of person who's always pushing the limits right. Always looking for that next level.
Yeah, whether you're a business leader, a coach, an athlete, I mean, you thrive on performance. And for you, time is more than just, well, time. It's an asset.
Yeah.
It's something to invest, to
Yeah.
leverage,
To maximize.
to really squeeze every drop out of right. And that's what today's all about. We're going to explore how to reclaim those little bits of time that we all tend to, well, let slip away.
Exactly. And we're going to do that by tapping into the wisdom of Aikido master George Leonard, and specifically how Coach Ed Padalecki interprets and applies Leonard's ideas. Now, Leonard wrote this book called Mastery back in 1991, still so relevant. And Coach Padalecki, will call him Coach P, sometimes really brings those ideas to life in a way that I think you're going to find really useful, really actionable. So Leonard poses this question that I just love. He says, could all of us reclaim lost hours of our lives by making everything the ordinary and the extraordinary a part of our practice?
Think about that for a second. I mean, we're all so busy, right?
Yeah.
But what if those packed schedules actually hold hidden opportunities to level up?
That's the essence of what we're diving into today. It's about seeing the potential for growth in every single moment, not just in those dedicated blocks of time we set aside for well work or training or whatever your thing is.
So let's start with Leonard's core philosophy. He says mastery isn't about reaching some final destination. It's not like checking a box and saying, okay, I'm a master now.
Not at all. It's about this ongoing commitment to learning and growing and evolving. It's a journey, not a destination, as they say.
And Coach Padalecki, I think, really drives this point home. He emphasizes that every moment, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, can contribute to that journey. Right. And that brings us to a really interesting point. We often think of time in these binary terms, right? Productive versus unproductive, work versus leisure.
But Cosby encourages us to look at it differently, to see those moments that we might label as wasted as actually reclaimable. Like, how many times have you caught yourself mindlessly scrolling on your phone? Or getting sucked into that app that seems to devour minutes like nobody's business?
It happens to the best of us. But what if, instead of beating ourselves up for those moments, we started to see them as opportunities? What if we could redirect even a fraction of that time towards something that actually moves us closer to our goals?
And this is where the idea of finding gold in everyday moments comes in. Coach P borrows this directly from Leonard, and it's a powerful concept because it means that growth and progress don't just have to happen in those big formal chunks of time. They can happen in those little in-between moments that we often overlook.
Think about it. The walk from your car to the office, that brief pause before a big meeting, or for you athletes, the quiet moment right before stepping onto the field, or the stillness during the national anthem. These are all moments ripe with potential.
Right. And Coach P really breaks it down with some concrete examples that I think our listeners will relate to. He talks about how he uses the walk to the gym as a chance to get his head in the game, to focus on his intention for the workout ahead.
He also talks about using those few minutes before a practice session to reset his energy levels, to kind of clear the mental clutter and get into a state of flow.
And for athletes especially, he talks about using that time before the national anthem to cultivate a sense of gratitude and presence, to really connect with the moment and appreciate the opportunity to compete.
What I love about Coach P's approach is that he even finds ways to reclaim those super tiny moments that we usually just write off as lost time, like being stuck at a red light.
Yeah, we've all been there, right? Fuming at the light, willing it to change.
Instead of getting frustrated, Coach P suggests using that time for a mini mastery routine. Take a deep breath, smile intentionally. Maybe even take a moment to appreciate the beauty around you. Even something as simple as that can shift your mindset in a positive way.
And the cool thing is Coach P walks the walk. He doesn't just talk about this stuff. He actually lives it. Like, he talks about doing these smile breaths with his daughter. It's this little ritual they do together where they take a deep breath and smile. It's such a simple but powerful way to create connection and cultivate a positive emotional state.
Exactly. And it's all about integrating those micro moments of mastery into the fabric of your life, making them part of your daily routine rather than something separate from it.
It all comes back to that idea of intentionality that we've been talking about. And this is something that Coach P connects to the concept of peak performance today. It's about recognizing that every single second has the power to either enhance or detract from our performance.
And Leonard really hits on this too. He says distractions aren't just a waste of time. They're actually lost opportunities for growth.
Think about it. every time you get sucked into mindless scrolling or whatever your distraction of choice is, you're not just killing time. You're missing a chance to practice something that could actually move you forward.
So the question is, how do we actually put this into practice? How do we take these powerful ideas and apply them to our own busy lives? Well, Coach P offers a really clear three-part challenge that I think can be super helpful.
All right, lay it on us. What's the first step?
The first step is to get real with yourself about where your time is actually going. Do a little audit, track your time for a day or two and see where those minutes are slipping away. It might be a particular app. It might be social media. It might even be certain tasks that you do on autopilot without really being present.
Once you've identified those time drains, what's next?
The next step is to actively reclaim that time. And this isn't about deprivation. It's about replacing those unproductive habits with something purposeful. Coach P suggests some simple but effective practices, like taking a few deep breaths, visualizing success, or cultivating a feeling of gratitude.
I love those suggestions. They're so easy to implement, yet so powerful. Okay, so we've identified our time wasters, and we've started to replace them with more intentional actions. What's the third piece of the puzzle?
The third, and I think most crucial step, is to make micromastery a habit. It's about training yourself to see every single moment as a potential opportunity for growth. Whether you're recovering from a tough workout, transitioning between tasks, or even facing criticism, these are all chances to build mental resilience and develop your skills.
So it's not just about those big moments of peak performance. It's about the cumulative effect of all those little moments of intentional practice.
Exactly. As Coach P says, mastery isn't about reaching some endpoint. It's about the consistency of your approach. It's about showing up fully in each moment and embracing every experience as a chance to learn and grow.
So as you go about your day-to-day, I want you to keep this idea in mind. How can you start integrating these principles of micromastery into your own life? What's one small moment that you can approach differently starting right now?
It could be as simple as using that next red light as a chance to take a deep breath and smile, or using that walk to your next meeting to visualize a successful outcome. The possibilities are endless.
The key is to start seeing those little moments not as wasted time, but as valuable opportunities. Because when you do that, you start to unlock a whole new level of potential in yourself and in your life.
And that's the beauty of mastery. It's not about striving for perfection. It's about embracing the journey and finding the gold in every single moment.
And who knows? Maybe by reclaiming those lost moments, you'll find that you actually have more time than you thought you did. Time to achieve your goals, time to connect with the people who matter most, and time to truly live a life of purpose and meaning.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So go out there and start reclaiming those moments, folks. You might be surprised at what you discover.
That's it for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.